So, I guess we're ready here. So, welcome everybody to, thank you for joining me. My name is William Schreiner, and I am an employee here at the University of Colorado Boulder. I work in the Educational Technology Support Group, and this is a training video on using the CU Boulder's Custom Install Kit system, aka C.I.T.S. kit. Um, so let's get started. What is the C.I.T.S. kit is really what we're looking at. So the C.I.T.S. kit is this portable device here. As you can see, it has contains about 9 different bins inside of this. It contains different cables, wire nuts, connectors. You have an RJ45s underneath this. You also have anchors and other forms of screws on this other side. You get gender changers, things like this. This is a portable device which basically makes it so that we can have every part that we need when we need it. And the big part about this is, which isn't shown there, is there's a scanner, which we'll see later on, that is used for scanning parts and scanning the barcodes, which we'll see a little bit later. For reordering parts, so if you're running low on something, we can scan that thing, but we'll be scanning those as we do installations, and we can kind of get an idea of what we're using during installs, and we can keep up on reordering parts, so we're never really out of those parts. Big part about this is that it's versatile. We can build our own custom parts. Those bins right there came with this bin. If we don't use those parts for long periods of time, we can pull them out, put in our own parts, or we can build custom parts that allow us to order from somebody else, but still use the parts and put them into one bin and have everything we need in one spot. This definitely complements our installation toolkit. The toolkit, which normally contains more of your larger tools like your drill, your hacksaws, drill bits. You'll have other types of larger tools, fish tape, things like that you would normally need in installation, and those items that you sometimes just need in that one brief moment you need the item, and hey, it's right there in that toolkit. You don't have to go to the back to the shop, which brings me next to my next point. Why C.I.T.S. kits? Why did we get these things? Well, they're ease of use. They're very simple to use. This little training, you should be able to right off the bat, you should be able to understand how all this is done. Placing accessory components needed for installations, like I've said, in one spot, that's a wonderful thing. Reduce time in installation. What this is supposed to do is, this shows what we need for our installations. All our parts are right there. We don't have to go back to the shop, which means more time that we actually get to spend on site without having to go back and forth from our shop or to our car, getting the parts we need. So acquiring and returning of the C.I.T.S. kits. So what we need here in acquiring and checking out the C.I.T.S. kits, we're going to check the C.I.T.S. kit calendar on Exchange to see if a kit is available. This is something that everybody will be part of a shared calendar on. Next, basically the lead installer should inform whoever's in charge of the C.I.T.S. kits 2 to 3 days in advance. Now this may change depending on management or what we do with this, but as of right now, this is how we have it set up. Do this by creating a SupportWorks case. This is supposed to include the date, of the install, room where install is taking place, and the anticipated time needing this type of kit. You see here that this is a sample SupportWorks case. What you're looking at here is you'll see this, I made this as a test case. You see the install and toolkit request. The date of the install is 12/19/08. The room we're going to do is Helms 261. The anticipated time needing this kit, 2 days. That might not, this is just a test case. Big part to this, what we're wanting to do is we are wanting to try to coordinate everything so that we're not trying to do installs, this person needs this kit this time, but that kits are staying together, parts are staying together, is why we need that. Once you make that case, what you'll do is you'll assign that to the person who's in charge. Right now, as of today of this recording, 12/18/08, that person is me at the current moment, so that may change. But after that, acquiring and checking out the kits, like I said, you'll place this request. Once that comes in, the manager, if it's available, will place that request on the C.I.T.S. kit calendar. Then the day before the install, what you want to do is you want to go down and meet with the manager of the kits so that what he has done is a couple of things. which we'll talk about later. But what you're going to do with this is once you get the kit, you'll sign it out. You'll also sign out the toolkit that goes along with this. After that, what you'll do is our big suggestion is scan those large items like the Epson projectors, data, the DVD VCR combo units, your Pixie Pro serial numbers, things like that. Those are not part of the C.I.T.S kit, but those are made as a custom kit, so you can actually have a barcode to scan, and then after you scan it, you'll scan the serial number, which we'll talk about later. Once you're done with your kit, you're going to return this kit back to the manager. What you're going to do with the handheld device that you have is you're going to put that handheld device, match that handheld device onto the matching dock that's placed on the manager's desk, like on my desk or the manager's desk, and put it with the correct docking station, and then return the kits back to their original spot, and sign the equipment back in. If questions arise, the manager of the C.I.T.S kits, they'll contact you. So, maybe there's a tool missing from it. They'll say, hey, where did this tool go? Oh, hey, he's using it over here. Fine. We'll sign that out separately so that we know where that part is. Or if you made a part and you said, I used 30 of something. Well, I don't think you used 30 of something. Maybe you just meant 3. So I just want to make sure that that's what you meant. It's 3 parts, not 30. For that type of thing. So, using the C.I.T.S kit, this is where we're going to really talk about the hand scanner, because the hand scanner is the big part that correlates to this type of device. So I have the hand scanner here on the desk, and we're going to first talk about the C.I.T.S kit job name. So most of the time the hand scanner for this thing normally is off. If it turns off, normally you just got to press a button, any button on the screen, and it'll pop this back up right here. So for the first scan that you're ever going to make on this thing when you get it from the manager, you're going to press 3. So we're going to press 3 right there, and it's going to pop up this little menu. This is add job, clear job. So we're going to add a job, and for this thing, it's kind of important to know that in order to make letters to work correctly, so E is the second one in on 3, so you have to quickly press 3 twice to get an E. So you can kind of see here, there's an E there. Then you can just go to C, you get it 3 times. And then for R on 7 here, we're going to press it 3 times as well. Then we're going to space this, and we're going to put in, so now you want to enter in a number, because according to our job name, what we want to do is we want to do the 4 alpha building code, and then the room number where we're going to do. Like, for example, that we have on this Helms 201, 261, Ketchum 120, Humanities 370, which would be HUMN, things like that. So what we want to do now is down below, which right here, you'll see that there's kind of an A signifying this as an alpha caps lock. What we do to get out of that, to get to numbers, we're going to press alpha twice, this orange button down here, twice, and then we're going to be able to type in 143. Once we've done that, we're going to press enter, and then our job name has been entered, and now we can continue our scanning for where this goes to. So the big thing about this is that this actually may be done for you already by the manager, because once you've entered in this name and you scan an item, that name will go throughout your scannings unless you want to change it yourself. You change that by pressing 3. You can add a job or change the name if there's some that stay in there, because these names are stored in this device. Once that is done, we move on to our next piece, quantity. So by default, the quantity on this hand scanner is always going to be 1, as you can see right here. And so let's say we're doing RJ40 and RJ45. We're going to do a Ethernet cable for our Catlink VGA. We need to have 2. We need to crimp on 2 RJ45 cables. All right. So we used 2 of those. So we're going to press 2 on the device, and it's going to highlight the quantity part up here, and it's highlighted, and we're going to enter in 2 and then press enter. So after pressing enter, we see that in this quantity field we have 2, and the job name is ECCR 143 still. Big thing about lengths of cable and of Velcro, if we use it, enter in rough estimates of feet that you've used for that cable, and just round it to the nearest. So if it's, you have a measuring tape, just estimate on these things. If there's 5 feet, most of the time, most cables that you have, if you look on it, you can actually calculate it because it says there's feet on the cable. Starting at 1 feet, and you just kind of figure out from there how long your cable is. And then you can enter in that number. And just round to the closest foot. So once you've entered the quantity and you've entered in the job name, or the job name and the quantity, you want to add a comment about something like, this is the serial number for this device, or something important about this device, that this is a DVD player combo unit. If you don't know that, most barcodes will know that information, but just information that you want to make about this thing in the sense of your install. So how we do that, we just press 4. Most of the time, you're going to see this add comment piece pop up, and there'll be stored things like serial number, which you'll probably use a lot after you scan like a DVD player or a projector. You'll scan the barcode right after that, so we know that that serial number correlates to that product. We're going to add comment. Most of the time, you can either type in serial number all the way, or you can just hit S. Oops, let's try this again. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's S, and then we can hit N, and we'll do that twice on the number 6 key, and we have SN in the comment section right here. If you're going to get to the end of the comment section, you want to move down, you'll press Enter. You can actually move down into the second comment section by pressing 5, and then you can just continue typing for that. You press Enter when you're done with your comments in each section. So once you have all this important information, the quantity and the job name are the 2 most important things that you have by default. Once again, your quantity is always going to be 1, so if you need to change it, change it. Your job name will stay after you do your first scan. Once you're done with that, you're ready to really just scan your product or your item that you've used. And I have a sheet of custom labels that we have here, which we'll use as an example right now. And what you'll do is you'll have this yellow button right here. This is your scanner. It gives you the nice little yellow button, gives you a little scanner. And what we'll do is we'll say, we'll scan the, let's see here, we'll scan the BTX here hood that we use for our RS-232. And we'll just kind of aim the scanner at the barcode, and you'll hear a beeping noise. And that means that it got the scan, got the barcode, and has moved on. So you now have that stored in your records on this hand scanner. What you can do is you can see that the scanner has actually moved on down in this bottom. After you scan something, it moves on to the next record. So we're now on record 2. You see that ECCR 143 is still there, and the quantity of 1, like by default, is there. So a big part to all of this is serial numbers that I want to kind of talk about, like I've been talking throughout. Items you're going to see serial numbers with: data projectors, the audio follow unit, DVD VCR, Pixie Pro or SP panels, and other devices that are requested by either the installation team to have serial numbers for. Talk with your supervisor about which ones, serial numbers if there's going to be anything added. Once you've scanned the barcode, so for the big thing is we'll say the Pixie Pro, which we have on this thing. We have as a custom label here. We just got to find it. Here we are. So we have the Pixie Pro right here, SP Control on this right here. This Pixie Pro, we'll just scan the puck. So we'll oh, there it is, right there. We even have a picture right there for it. Most of these will have pictures with them, which we've added over the time here. So we see that with CCCR 143, we have quantity 1. So we just scan this item. So once we've scanned this piece, because this won't be on the box, there's going to be a serial number somewhere on this device. And what we'll want to do is, and if there's not, then it just doesn't have it. What we'll want to do is then we'll type in what we had done before. We can go to 4, and we can actually already see that SN is already here. We can go down, we can press Enter, and say this is our serial number. I'll just randomly pick one of these barcodes just to kind of move along here, saying that that was our serial number for this device. So we've moved on. I now know that the serial number I just scanned is for the Pixie Pro. That's just an example of that type of what we're doing with those barcodes and what we can utilize this serial number piece for. So you do want to scan, you want to type in the comment section before you scan. That is a small error here. You do want to enter your comment before you scan that barcode. Otherwise, it kind of moves on. If you do scan the barcode, the serial number before you enter in that comment, you can go back and edit the comment section for that device. Which actually brings me to my next point, editing. So the big part about this is, let's say you made a mistake, and so you want to go back. Well, one thing you can do is you can press this left arrow right here, which has the escape piece on it. Takes you all the way back to your first scan that you did, so record 1. If you want to move throughout the records, you just press the down button. Takes you to record 2. We can see there's our record, there's our MP piece there. We'll see that this is the serial number that we said. There's the serial number piece. And now when you see this asterisk, that means this is the new record or a blank record for you to scan on. You navigate through the system going up using the up and down arrows. You can go through, if you're at the first record and you've scanned a whole slew of things, you can hit the right arrow here, and that takes you all the way to a new record ready to scan, or to your next previous record. You can change comments, quantity, or job name of any record that you have in this device. Some other features of this thing, one thing, if you're in a very dark room or something, you want to make it lighter, or you need to change the contrast on the screen because you can't see it for some odd reason, you can hit function here, this blue key, function, and then hit the kind of shift key, and it brings up this contrast, and you change the contrast by using your up and down arrow keys. As you can see, it gets darker and lighter. So you just kind of wait for it to exit out of that, and it'll clear out in a couple of seconds. As you can see, it just did. Normally this contrast you don't really need to mess around with, but it's there just in case. Sometimes the sound might be too much or just really loud and you don't like it. It can only go so low because the sound does need to be there, so you know that you're scanning, that you've got the barcode. But you can make it as quiet as you can. You do that by hitting function and then this delete, the button in between the alpha and the orange and blue button. The alpha is the orange and the function key is the blue. And you see the volume control that popped up. We'll do that again because it disappeared. You can change it. You can kind of hear it maybe through my microphone, that the noise it's making, but most of the time these settings, the sound will always be set to the lowest. Your manager will do that just because it's really annoying to have that loud when you're trying to scan things. So we kind of demonstrated throughout the presentation about what we can scan, and so, but I'm going to actually go through this and I'm going to kind of go over by the toolkit, and we're going to scan a few items there, and then we'll come back to the sheet and actually take a look at scanning some things off the sheet. So we can first, if I'm going to use an audio cable here, I can actually just come up here onto all the barcodes are actually going to be up on top of this. And we can just actually, let's say I'm going to use a cable, 3-foot audio. I can just scan it. I can move on to my next device. I can close that, move this off to the side, and say I wanted to use those RJ45 connectors I was talking about. I've got some RJ45 connectors right here. I can do the same thing. I'm going to use, let's say I used 4. I'm going to press 2, change the number to 4, press enter, done. I'm going to scan that barcode, and I'm off and running. I don't have to really worry about, I take my 4 items. The scanner is very easy to use for that type of thing. Then we're going to come back. Let's say that there's a part that you have that's that's not part of that kit over there. You'll have these part lists in the toolkit with you, and let's say that there was a screen. You brought in an 84-inch by 84-inch Model B daylight projector. You have one of those. This doesn't have a picture yet, but hopefully we'll have it by the time we'll keep updating these. All you got to do, scan that barcode, you're off and running. Let's say that you're moving through, you have a Shure 4-channel mixer you need to add, same thing. You have one of them, you just scan it. You're just running through these things real quick. That's how much little time this takes away from your installation. You're just scanning pieces. Some extra information I want you to know. Each kit will have an instruction/label book, things like this that you see here, that you'll see, and so you'll have this book, part of that. Then you'll also have one that I've created, kind of what we've gone over in this installation. This will also be included about kind of the procedural steps in using this install kit. And then lastly, this is the kind of user manual that came from Custom Install Supply in here as well to help you along if you kind of forget. And these will all be inside these install kits. And other materials may be added later. The list of parts, custom parts may grow, may shrink. We'll always keep those parts up to date. In any part that's there, we'll always have, unless we know we're never using that part again, will we take that out. Other than that, I'd like to thank Randy Shosta for helping me out with this presentation, and thank you for being here with me, and I hope that you find this video informational and that you enjoy using these custom install technician install kits system. Thank you very much.